GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So, Fat Man.
So, Sleazy.
We don't got a show to review this week. What the hell are we going to do? Yeah, it is. It's the first time this year we haven't had a show to review.
So, let's do our top 5 Elimination Chamber matches, seeing as how Elimination Chamber is going to be in an actual Elimination Chamber this year.
Okay.
So, we already know Sleazy's. It's, the 4 women's ones and the ECW one. So, Ryan and I will tell you what ours are coming up on the wrestling show.
Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
And Fat Man's stealing my bits again. Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. Today, we are missing a Mark, unfortunately. He's decided to work and not show up on the show for once. Why? I don't know. But today, we are doing top 5 Beatdown with apologies and to Watcher, I guess. To Ryan and Shane, it's a stolen concept. So I have to give props to the people that were doing it first. So, if you ever watched Watcher on YouTube, check them out. If you have, this is where it's stolen from. Ha. So we're each going to reveal our top 5 in round robin form. Fat Man will be the most boring. Ryan's will be the most interesting. Mine's going to be the most Markish. So let's get right on into it. Who wants to start?
Oh, you, obviously. We want to hear which woman's match is the 5th one. Oh, by the way, hey, yo.
Oh, fuck you. My number 5 isn't a women's match.
It's the Extreme Elimination Chamber.
It's the Extreme Elimination Chamber match. No shit. Anywho, Extreme Elimination Chamber match featuring main event Bob Holly. Obviously, December, everyone knows what it is. Bobby Lashley won. Do we need to even continue to talk about this? No one else has it on their list. No one gives a shit. Ryan, what's your number 5?
I special consideration it just because as much shit as that whole pay-per-view takes, as much shit as that match takes, they did try something different, but a lot of people shit on that because CM Punk didn't win it. You can't hate a match and actually hate it and think it's a bad match because the person you wanted to win didn't win. That's just fucking idiotic. That don't take away from the match. That's like me going, oh, The Rock and Hulk Hogan for WrestleMania 18 was a terrible match. I mean, it was. But the crowd makes it not a terrible match. But I would want Hulk Hogan to win. Me to say this match is just dumb. So I like the Elimination Chamber, but it just didn't make my top 5 as from 2011 when John Cena defeated CM Punk, John Morrison, Sheamus, Randy Orton, and the 2-time NWA champion, Ron the Truth Killings.
Well done, sir.
Gotta get our shit in, man.
Of course.
So mine's kind of a cop-out because I have 2 tied for number 5, but they go all together.
Okay.
Same night?
Same night. 2009.
The Edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
The WWE title one, where Edge gets eliminated before anybody else comes out within the first 3 minutes.
Wow.
And then that one is won by Triple H. And then the last one of the night was for the world title, where he takes out Kofi Kingston before the match and enters and wins that and wins the world title. So he enters the first one as WWE champion, loses in 3 minutes, and then takes a guy out and wins the world title. I thought that was just brilliant. The matches together they're good, not the best, but the whole story around them was just that's creative.
The whole generation, how everything evolved and stuff like that. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. My number 4 is not a women's match.
What a mark.
Right? Oh, it's a mark for a different reason. It is for the World Heavyweight Championship title opportunity at WrestleMania 29, the one where Jack Swagger won. And you can probably figure out why that's the case, Fat Man. They like that one.
You are the people.
Yes. That was the real true, I want to say the height of the arc of We the People and Jack Swagger winning. And it was such a unique angle in a time where I don't think you could even get away with it now.
No.
So I thought the storyline was really, really well done. And this was to put Jack Swagger on the map, and it absolutely did. And it was very sad what happened afterwards. But
what, he getting busted? RVD style?
yeah. So just
Ryan style?
Yeah, Ryan style, yeah.
hashtag Ryan style. But yeah, it once again, these aren't going to be great matches. Like, this one actually probably is the highest rated by Fuck Dave Meltzer at 4 stars on my list. So it only goes downhill from here. I'll just leave it there.
I mean, you started downhill.
Yeah. And then we went up, and then we didn't go up and up and up and up. We're going to go down and down and down and down. Ryan, sir?
My number 3 would be when Bray Wyatt defeated John Cena, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, and The Miz in February 2017 to win his first WWE title. I really liked it just because, to me, if a title happens between the Rumble and WrestleMania, it's not always done, but it's always something special because you're like, boys, you never see the belt last again outside of the Mick Foley Rock thing with the ladder match because they wanted Rock and Austin at WrestleMania. If a title change happens, usually that person's going to WrestleMania with the belt, right? And for Bray Wyatt, for as long as he went, and the Husky Harris shit and all of this, and the whole feud that came after with Orton and burning the house down, all of it was really good, but I just really enjoyed that match solely on the Bray Wyatt thing.
Okay.
You can like a match because your person won. You just can't hate a match because your person didn't win.
That's true.
My number 4 is the first Elimination Chamber. Survivor Series 2002, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane, Chris Jericho, RVD, and Booker T.
Main event Booker T.
Hold on now. Are we 6 matches in and we haven't had a duplicate yet? That's amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's Lizzie's fault.
Because they didn't pick no women. Yes.
My number 3 also comes with the other half of it being my sole, secondary choice. It would have been my number 6, which was the tag team women's elimination chamber match. Okay? Because it was historical. It was for the first tag team championship for the women in this modern era. But the actual one, my number 3, was the one that gave everyone COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, the women's elimination chamber match.
You can't
from
be serious.
March 2020.
Number 3?
Number 3.
Okay, I know we're not supposed to shit on each other, but you were the one that shat on this the most.
100% yes.
Whoa. When were we not supposed to be shitting on each other?
Sleazy
No,
said.
absolutely.
No,
I said
favorite.
I said favorite, not best. I absolutely, this is one of the stupidest matches of all time. 100%. Okay?
But
it's one of my favorite because, and only because, main event Shayna Baszler.
For that one match.
Really only that one match. And to be fair, this is literally because of that. And what's the other reason? Anyone know?
We were there live.
Well, we were there live too, but it's the only one Asuka's been in.
And lost.
She was the only one that had a chance against Shayla.
See what happens? Asuka loses Elimination Chamber and then China decides to make COVID.
Exactly. Right? So that's why it's my number 3, because I have to put a women's match in there. And obviously I have to put the one with Asuka in there. And it made Shayna Baszler a badass, but they decided not to capitalize on it. But at that moment, she was the ultimate badass. And the hope was that she was going to become the big star of the women's division. Obviously, that didn't happen.
That one moment.
It was a fleeting moment, obviously. But what can you do? It was a main event of a pay-per-view with Shayna Baszler walking out without even breaking a sweat.
Out even breaking a sweat.
Sleazy was sweating just sitting there.
That's also true.
How did you get away with jerking off in the stadium?
I know, right?
Well,
my wife was right next to me, and she was like, "Can you stop that?"
When your dick is so small, and you go like this, the people think that you're rubbing money together in his pocket.
Here's the other thing. Here's another piece of it, and while I'm glad they've never done it before or since, it is the most dominant Elimination Chamber performance by any person, male or female.
Lies. It's tied.
No. There were times.
Would you like to bet 20 Canadian dollars that it is tied for the most dominant Elimination Chamber performance?
By what metric?
By the amount of eliminations that were in the match.
I'm talking by sheer amount of minutes sitting on the rope doing nothing because she beat her opponent so fast.
Yeah, no, I'd still probably say that Braun Strowman did nothing when he had 5 eliminations in his match and lost to Roman Reigns, and probably did a lot less of nothing more.
He had 5 eliminations, then lost to Roman Reigns?
Because they had that one weird 7-man Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah, they did, but I'm going to side with Sleazy, as in she eliminated everybody in the match.
Yeah.
But Braun Strowman eliminated everybody in the match but the guy that
except one.
But the guy that won. So
yeah.
No.
So in that case,
as much as this match is like the worst Elimination Chamber match, it's somehow number 3 on Sleazy's list. I'm siding with Sleazy with the dominance factor.
If you put all that together, you understand why I like it in that respect.
But you don't.
But I don't.
It.
Well, that's the other thing about it, is that it was one of the most boring matches because they did it that way. And I'm glad they didn't. They have never done it before, and they won't ever do it again, I hope. But it's still, it's strange. It's very strange. But that's my number 3.
Okay, what's Ryan's number 3?
My number 3 is tied between 2 matches because I did not want to give the other match any kind of singular ranking because of some of the people in the match. I'm tied between the year John Cena defeated Carlito, Chris Masters, Kane, Kurt Angle.
Oh, the one we were at.
Which turned into the cash-in for Edge the first time. That's tied with the one that Daniel Bryan won, where he pinned Santino Marella last, and Santino Marella had that 2-month run of he almost won the Rumble, he almost won the Elimination Chamber. The reason I didn't want to put that one by itself is because when I look at the people in the match, it's like the Great Khali, Big Show, Santino Marella. It's like, oh, this should not be no one near.
Wasn't that supposed to be Orton, but he was hurt? And then Morel replaced him or something?
That I don't know about the story on that side of it because it was really weird. Because, like I said, this was a month after Santino.
I don't think it was. I think it was a year later.
The Santino Rumble thing?
I think it was a year later. I think his was 2001, and that Elimination Chamber we're talking about was 2000. Not 2001, 2011.
2012.
And then the Elimination Chamber was 2012.
Well, if that's the case and it wasn't in that 2 months, like my brain apparently makes it think it is, then that's out, and the Cena thing is just number 3.
Because I literally just watched the 2011 Elimination, or No Way Out, or whatever the fuck. Elimination Chamber is what it's called.
No Way Elimination Out Chamber.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
All right, so I just lawyered Ryan, so I made him take one off, because it was 2012.
Cool.
So
hold on, now you told me I was wrong. Isn't this where I'm supposed to get on like an entitled piece of shit and not just say, cool, I learned something new again?
Yep.
No. There you go.
I'm allowed to be an entitled piece of shit.
You're absolutely
I'm coming onto this show for minutes. Fucking minutes. And not to be disrespected.
My number 3, sorry, Ryan, we have a repeat.
Oh, no.
2017 Elimination Chamber for the WWE title. Cena, Miz, Wyatt, Styles, Corbin, Ambrose. Yep.
Well, at least you're the first person to repeat, and not the second, who also has a repeat with a number 3.
Didn't we already have your number 3?
Well, yeah, but this one's my number 2. It's your number 3.
Oh, yes.
As the
We
Fat
were
Man
there.
alluded to, we were there. The one John Cena won and then promptly lost. Because, of course, it's going to be up there because we were there live. Plus, it got to the point where it was hilarious how stupid it was. We were all chanting for one person, and then they got eliminated. And then we were chanting for RVD, and then they got eliminated.
RVD wasn't even in
Or
the
not
match.
RVD,
Michaels. We were chanting for Angle. Then it was Michaels.
Kane.
You were chanting for Kane.
I was
Literally
Kane.
the only one.
I was probably the only one chanting for Kane, yes. But
So
yeah.
my number 2 would be the year that it was the first women's Elimination Chamber match where Bayley, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, Sasha Banks, and Sonya Deville lost to Alexa Bliss
Sasha. Alexa.
in 2018. For all the first time things that women have done in WWE and they're like pushing the boundaries and stuff like that, this was cool because at no point did you think Alexa Bliss was winning this match. Right?
Sasha.
The size, stature, you got people like Sasha and Bayley that are there, the 4 horsewomen, like that are just, you expect to be given that first accolade, but giving it to Sasha was cool, or giving it to Alexa was really cool, and it was on her nice little run anyways, coming into WrestleMania 34.
Alexa.
Stop petting your pussy and give us your number 2.
He's not my pussy. I was going to say something really bad. I'll say it anyway. He's not my
he a
pussy.
non-pussy?
He's my parents' pussy. I was going to say my mom's pussy. Yeah.
What's that, a line? That's furnace.
My number 2 was from 2011, the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber. Edge versus, not Corporate Kane, versus Rey Mysterio versus Drew McIntyre versus Big Show versus Wade Barrett.
I'm very disappointed that you didn't say not and one of those guys' other gimmicks for the rest of that. Like, where you said not Corporate Kane, not the Giants. Like,
Well, Sleazy's favorite incarnation of Kane is Corporate Kane.
Yes.
so what's
I
wrong
had
with
to
Corporate Kane?
Nothing, because I had to be like, it's not Corporate Kane.
Don't fucking sidetrack from what I was just saying about it. Would have been funny if you had to say not this and not that.
Edge, not Corporate Kane, not Rey Mysterio, not Drew Galloway, not the Giant.
Not a one-man band, not 3-man band, Drew. They see, like, you're
He's
slacking.
still Drew McIntyre in that, so it doesn't count. So Drew Galloway versus the Giant versus, I don't know what other gimmick Wade Barrett had. So.
Stu Barrett? Bad News Barrett?
Bad News Barrett, thank you.
But that's just the same person with a different starting name.
That's his real name.
They're all the same person with a different same name. Fucking assholes. You mean to tell me Kama Mustafa and the Good Father are not two different people, but the same person?
Only man to be in the
Hey.
Royal Rumble with 5
Hey.
different gimmicks.
You haven't seen them in the same room together,
There was this one time on PCP.
so.
All right, you fuckers.
Number 1, drum roll. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
All right, here we go.
You guys already know it.
It's the one taker one.
No.
What?
The first women's Elimination Chamber match, without question. And for many of the same things that Ryan said about it. It was absolutely it was one of the first times where they gave the women really truly something that you wouldn't have don't think you would have seen it had they were doing the women's revolution, because Elimination Chamber was meant to be this completely insane structure and insane match, and it was only meant for the most devastating of consequences. And then they throw these 6 women in it for the very first time. And I think when you start looking at it from that perspective, you can understand why people really started to give a shit about women's wrestling there, because they were willing to do stuff like that. And to be fair, once again, Alexa winning, not one of the 4 horsewomen winning, having like Mickie James in there being a fucking, ring general, so to speak. So
You just call her a work whore?
And Sleazy just agreed.
I just agree with it. I like it. Love it.
Wait a minute. Did he say what I thought he said?
I'm in. I'm in.
Work whore?
I'm whatever. But yeah, of course, that's got to be my number one. And once again, I preface this by saying it was not a great match. Wasn't a terrible match. Meltzer gave it 3.25 stars. So yeah, but I mean,
fuck Dave Meltzer.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Thank you. But yeah, that's my number one. I'm interested to hear how the other two people are wrong in this conversation.
You are. Hey, listen. I was gonna say it, but I didn't. So you said it first. Shots fired. Your list is trash.
Duh.
I mean, my number one is not a shock being the tag team guy because I just love the tag team wrestling.
Which one?
What?
Which one?
It is the one where the Miz and Morrison fought Ziggler and Rude, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, the New Day.
Oh, that's the one that started that pandemic too.
Yeah.
No, that didn't start the pandemic because that was before the Shayna COVID fucking pandemic.
This
was actually a really good one, and COVID was like cool. WWE's doing pretty good with their Elimination Chambers. Every bit that had a bit of story, and this was everything was told. Everybody had a little piece. Even the eliminations rang into each other and some sort of evolution to how the match was going. And we didn't cause COVID because we're not Shayna Baszler beating Oscar.
Hey, they happened the same night, so we can't be sure which one actually caused the COVID.
Yeah, you can. If the first dick comes in you and then the second dick comes in you.
Yeah,
it would be the first dick.
If the first bomb goes off and you're alive and the second bomb goes off and kills you.
Yeah, but if you get herpes from the first guy,
you're going to remember syphilis because whichever one you got second.
Well, you can cure syphilis.
Okay.
You can't cure herpes. Sleazy knows that from being in Vegas.
Oh, yes.
Well, obviously, my number one is for Vacant's World's Heavyweight Championship.
Such a class act, that Vacant.
Triple H versus Randy Orton versus Batista versus Edge versus Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho versus Vacant. New Year's Revolution 2005.
Was that the only one where everybody in the match was like a huge star, so to speak? Because
Batista was, Edge wasn't there yet. Batista was on his way up.
Okay.
Well, that's a loaded fucking...
That's a loaded chamber.
But Batista hasn't won the Rumble at this point yet.
No, he's literally like 3 weeks away.
Yeah, like the Orton thing happened, and there's a changeover from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is like they had, and Michaels was a guest referee, and Edge and Michaels had like a feud. Triple H and Orton was having a feud. They planned more C's for Triple H and Batista, and Jericho and Benoit are there just to be the workhorses. So yeah, it was great.
And let's be honest here, every single one on everyone's list except for mine were great matches. And even,
a couple of them went on Ryan's ones too. So Ryan's list isn't that great either.
No, I liked Ryan's list as well. It's hard to
hear that my favorite list is something that you don't like, dickhead.
Cause fuck you.
WWE Championship?
Yep. So what have we learned here?
Fat man's a judgmental piece of shit.
I'm a what?
Judgmental piece of shit.
He started it.
You uncle.
He started it.
Sleazy started it.
You uncle and aunt lover.
Huh?
I said aunt.
I don't like ants. They're nasty.
You live in the States and I can feel the death glare through the computer at me, Sleazy.
I'm just like, I don't like ants. They're nasty. I don't like when they crawl up on me.
He meant to say.
Oh, no, I 100% would have rather said.
Well, fucking throw it, because let's fucking go.
Guess this is where we took a break.
We'll be back after this. All right, we're back, folks. While we were off air, we've decided to talk more shit about the list as usual. Let's get into news and rumors. Fat Man's got a shit ton of them, I assume.
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, good. We're planning on talking about the shit McMahon thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
Here we
yes.
go. Hold
Yes.
on.
Do you have it?
Hold on.
Do you have all the shit about it?
WWE may have had plans for Shane McMahon to qualify
Jesus
for the
Christ.
Elimination Chamber. We talked a little bit about Shane McMahon last week. Shane has been pulled from all Raw's Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania because of his heat for producing, even though last week we listed off all the producers and the booker of the Royal Rumble. What happened between him and his father in his WWE future? It has been reported that Shane wanted to wrestle Austin Theory at WrestleMania 38, and there's no word on if WWE ever considered that match. According to...
Fuck Dave Reynolds. What? Let's try that again. One.
So, wait. So you now wearing a Kenny Omega shirt, and you're already gagging on Meltzer's dick.
First of all, it's a CM Punk shirt.
Second off, I'm the one that said fuck Fat Man.
I mean,
That's what fucks
you
me
watch
up.
That did fuck me up because I went, what? Jesus Christ.
Our journalistic skills know no bounds.
Then at one point that there was a plan for Shane and Seth Rollins to do something that would lead to them meeting inside the Elimination Chamber. Okay, so
Hold on. Because I actually want to talk about this, but I really don't want bitter, jaded fucking Fat Man views on this. Because this is something that we could fund fantasy book no matter what way it goes. You know what I mean? Like, I get that you might think it's stupid, but one, Shane McMahon has been a producer on the Royal Rumble for years now. They always bring him in to do the men's stuff. So that part seems true enough. All the stuff coming out about Shane, about he wanted to be number one, and then apparently he was supposed to be number 29, but his music played at 28, and Orton looked at him and said, I'm not going to the fucking ring. Here comes the money, so you better go to the ring. I think if they had to do Shane and Austin, like the fantasy book, I want this to be a work. I want this to be WWE's plan the whole time, so all these dirt sheets thinks they're fucking smart, but they just wouldn't let anything play out. And I want Shane McMahon to screw Austin Theory out of the belt at fucking Elimination Chamber.
First of all, I'd kill for that.
I buy him versus Theory at Mania. I don't buy him versus Rollins at Mania.
If Rollins is the WWE champion, yeah, because it's going to be, and it's stupid as much people are going to hate it. It's a ready-made storyline. A McMahon coming in and demanding a title shot. What do you think? You're Lesnar and Rousey? Oh, you are? Eh? Okay, well, here's your title shot. Because the main title shot at WrestleMania is Lesnar and Reigns, boss.
Lesnar, Rousey, or Goldberg.
Goldberg's not going to be at Mania for a title shot this year.
No, he just decided to come in for Elimination Chamber instead.
The Saudi money.
It's his title match from 2 years ago.
I mean, yeah. You're next.
Breaking news, guys. My sources just told me that the original plan was supposed to be Shane McMahon versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. And Shane was going over.
You need to tell Chip that him as your source is bullshit.
I mean, if WrestleBalls can say bullshit, I can too, right? WWE's found an increase in viewership with Peacock as the new home for WWE Network in the United States. The company believes they've outperformed on the streaming service. WWE president and CRO Nick Khan, no relation to that jack-off in Jacksonville, revealed during the quarter 4 earnings for WWE that several events saw significant increases in viewership. Viewership for Money in the Bank was up 25%, SummerSlam was up 30%, Extreme Rules was up 20%, and Crown Jewel was up 75% because there was no Crown Jewel, but there was another pay-per-view. And Survivor Series was up almost 25%. Day one was one of the highest viewed events in the history of the Peacock platform. And the viewership for the Royal Rumble was up 45%.
Cool. Like, for everybody that shits on fucking WWE and the Fed is bad and corporate blah, 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 blah. Who gives a fuck what you stupid marks really shit on the WWE?
Well, you do know that WWE is in such bad shape right now that they're gonna go out of business next year when viewership is up and their revenue was over $1 billion.
Okay, so
Profit and
Yep.
revenue are two different things.
yes, I want to
But
go
they
back a
still
little
made-
bit. I want to go back to a little bit, talk about Peacock specifically. So, what is Peacock claiming in terms of revenue right now?
Peacock's lost. No, NBC Universal lost $1 billion due to Peacock.
Right. Because
Well,
partially
they just
they're-
started that last year.
Well, here's the reason why I wanted to say something about this. So currently, as of this past quarter, now keep in mind we've gone through one Olympic cycle, and we're about to go through another. Okay, and the only way that you can get Olympic coverage outside of watching literally USA and NBC in the prime time to get actual live coverage, you have to have Peacock Premium. Not just Peacock Premium, because Peacock regular is they have like 21 or 22 million subscribers, but Peacock Premium only has currently 9 million subscribers.
How many subscribers did WWE Network have before it went to Peacock?
Exactly. So I think it maxed out like 2.5 million.
I don't think it passed 2 million.
If WWE Network hit 2 million, that's the highest it hit.
Yeah, I don't think it ever hit 2 million. I think it was like 1.6 was the highest I seen it. But you might be right. It might hit 2 million. But so 7 times the amount of viewers.
Ha! Hold on. Just reading stuff and finding it funny. From Chris Van Vliet tweeted, he was doing research for a recent interview and realized that TNA/Impact has only ever had one 5-star match ever. For comparison, AEW has already had 13 5-star matches in the past 2.5 years.
Do I get extra credit to name the 5-star match?
I know it.
What is it?
It's Daniel's Joe Styles for 2005 Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry I didn't give you a harder one there, Sleazy. But wrap your mind around that now. That's the only match in TNA that was 5 stars. Fuck you, Dave Meltzer, you piece of fucking shit.
You know what Dave Meltzer said to the Young Bucks after this past year?
Warn me next time.
That's right. Also, it's. But also, Dave Meltzer works for AEW.
Okay, fair enough.
I was actually too close to the mic on that.
In the past 2.5 years, New Japan has had 60 plus, and Dave Meltzer didn't work for them. But you're telling me from 2002 to now, there's only ever been one 5-star match in TNA? No. Like, Jesus Christ. That's a bit far-sighted. You can't... I don't understand how Dave Meltzer can sit there and actually think that's fine. But that's just me. I'm not Dave Meltzer. I'm not a piece of shit. Well, not Dave Meltzer piece of shit.
I was going to say.
Meltzer doesn't get enough money from TNA. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. He didn't even review the last fucking show they did, the last pay-per-view.
Which was pretty damn good.
Here is not
It took
bad.
us 3 weeks to review it because we had New Japan, and Meltzer's star ratings still weren't out for that show.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is not just that part. Is even before AEW was a thing, boss.
That's true.
Right? Like, Dave Meltzer only rated one match at TNA 5 stars. So, say from 2002 to 2016, just before the whole fucking shit show went off with all the indies.
So I can tell you, I can tell you exactly what happened then. He got an Asian fetish. He went full sleazy.
Wow, never go full sleazy.
You never go full sleazy, and yet he went full sleazy.
What's wrong, fat man?
And I legitimately say this. Go take a look at all of his 5-star matches from 2002 to 2016. They were only in Ring of Honor specifically,
they were Japanese ones.
Well, one wasn't. It was Elgin and Davey Richards. And everybody else was
a 5-star match.
Really
Well,
wasn't.
the one 5-star match he gave him wasn't even a 5-star match.
It was a great
So
match.
the woman beater and the porn star got 5 stars.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, well done, sir. Did you put that in News and Rumors, by the way?
What?
That Davey Richards had his dick on the internet?
No.
And let's be fair, Davey Richards, well done, sir.
So that's how he got Angelina Love.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, go find the picture. There's
Nope.
a reason.
I'm like,
It's big.
Well, here's the thing, and we'll touch on this.
No, you can touch on it. I'm not. It's pretty big.
We'll stroke on this, and then we'll continue on. Jesus Christ. His response to it was probably my favorite. Yep, my dick's online. Oops. Oh well. Let's continue on. And that's how it should
isn't
be.
online.
Really?
Bullshit.
Lies.
My dick is online. I know.
I'm pointing at the Undertaker.
His dick's probably online somewhere.
Maybe. Sometimes.
I mean, you need to do like the Zoom thing on an iPhone to see sleazies, but like it's
right. That's why I don't have to worry about it. But the point being is that he took that with such grace, and no one gives a shit.
What do you mean? Okay, let's be fucking real here for a second. If he had to have a small dick, he'd probably be a bit more offended. But when he come out swinging a bat that they swing at the fucking Little League All-Star game.
We've given this too much press as it is.
You started it.
I know. I just wanted to say something.
It.
I just wanted to stroke it and leave.
Okay, this I found very weird.
Oh, no. Wait. We're going back to the Meltzer thing. There have been more 5-star matches in that 2002-2016, all in Japan, is what I was going with.
There's been more 5-star matches in Angelina Love and Davey Richards' bedroom. Oh, I said 5 stars, not 15 inches. Sorry, go continue.
MLW was granted a motion to seal certain materials in their federal antitrust lawsuit against WWE. The materials were related to financial details on their deal with Tubi and other similar proprietary information, according to PW Insiders. Also noted that WWE has not officially responded to the lawsuit, but it looks like their 21-day grace period, if only business days were included, would expire on Tuesday, February 15th. A case management meeting between WWE and MLW attorneys are scheduled for Tuesday, April 12th in Oakland. So the interesting part is MLW is suing WWE, but they're the ones that were able to get shit sealed?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you have proprietary deals and you want to show the court that WWE fucked them, but you don't want to show other wrestling companies how little they got that deal for, you'd want it sealed too. If I said I could get Excite Wrestling, and this is not real, so other wrestling journalists don't listen to this bullshit, think it's real.
Then use another company.
No.
If I could buy Northeast Wrestling, that's a fed down in the States. We'll just say that one.
They got a deal. Yeah, they got a deal to run all their shows live for $500 a show or something like that. Or on the other side, well, that includes like them coming down, them producing it, them doing all the streaming, blah, 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 blah. And all they're charging is $500. And then they get revenue off of that. Or,
as the example,
another example is, Tubi's going to give us $500,000 for a weekly show that all we have to do is produce and give it to them. Exactly. You don't want that out there, because then all of a sudden every other fucking company in the world will go, oh, you're paying them $500,000? We use pretty much the same talent and we'll do it for $100,000.
Okay, good point.
But it's going to come out anyway.
It's sealed.
It's sealed, though. It will never come out because of that ruling.
It would only come out in the lawsuit because they have to prove that WWE kind of fucked with them.
Right.
Yeah. So what you're saying,
so
it's going to come out anyway.
No, it won't.
No. So with the way sealing records happens in the U.S. courts is that the judge can look at it and the counsels can look at it, but it's not in public record.
So it's not spoken out loud?
Correct. It will never be in any document form or ever spoken.
So that makes no sense to me in terms of...
it will be in document form.
And the second documents gets leaked, or the second somebody...
But if they leak it, it's a federal offense.
Yeah, it's not some light crime if that happens.
Yeah.
Yes, but as much... And like...
I see where you're going. I see what you're saying with it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
some juror could leak it. Yes, you're absolutely right. But if it's found out, that is contempt of court, and you can be in some serious fucking trouble.
Fines, jail time. Susie loves jail time.
Lots of jail time. It's a felony.
This is about Goldberg.
Oh, God.
According to...
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
I've heard he's not
Oh,
re-signing.
Jesus Christ.
I would expect that they would re-sign him. They're not going to put the title on him unless he resigns. I'm sure of that. No shit. I can see the argument because of being so high not to resign him, but I just sense that they probably will. Yes, I'm talking like this to be an asshole. One, to keep him away from the opposition because, of course, Goldberg wants to go to AEW. And the other, because they can afford to do it. Again, like the Saudis.
I'm going to say this right now. AEW can't afford Goldberg. You know why? Because Saudi money is higher than anything else.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
So to him to even think of saying...
Well, the reason why I brought this up was Goldberg even admitted he needs shoulder surgery. So after his match, he's going to have it. Goldberg has said that.
What I read was Goldberg has said the shoulder surgery, but he's not going to get the surgery till he's done wrestling. Now, when WWE offers him a contract after this last match, and then he does another 1 or 2 matches every year, like, that's how that's going on now. Whenever Goldberg's done, I'd say that's when he's going to get it.
Here's
Saudi
my...
$6 million a year, boys. Like, Goldberg's going to make sure he gets all that money before he fucking does any surgery. Let's be real.
So let's see how badly he tries to hurt Roman Reigns before we figure out if we're going to re-sign him or not.
Here's the thing.
8-bit Asuka, that's the thing.
That's phenomenal. I love that shirt.
Sleazy just came.
I was that an actual WWE shirt?
Yes, yeah, the whole.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I am going to find that and get that.
Ryan's stripping.
I don't know. I'll take a picture of it later. On the back of the shirt, it's like the Mega Man style, and everybody's face is in the. I'll find a picture, send it to you because the back of the shirt looks cool too.
Oh my God! Yeah, I absolutely want that. Sorry.
It's also covered with man's cum, but don't worry about it.
It's fine.
It's washed out.
It's fine. It'll come out in the wash.
Ha
It's not like Goldberg could not get another 1-match extension if they wanted to throw the title on him. I mean, the fucking ridiculousness of that report. It's not even a report. It's him jacking off into a microphone.
I brought it up just to piss you off.
Well, you did a good fucking job.
Well, apparently Lesnar versus Reigns is going to be title for title. I mean,
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
There's my answer to that. Just in case you didn't hear it.
I'll say it a better way this way. I don't see it in terms of I don't see that being the only big title match over 2 nights. I can't. The first night there's going to be 2 separate title matches.
Yeah, that Intercontinental title's got a lot of prestige behind it, man.
Okay, now I got to fly to the States and kick you underneath the balls.
I mean, it is the worst looking title, so.
I'm going to kick you underneath the balls with Legos taped to my sneaker.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He just came again.
Yeah.
I don't see him not having the WWE or Universal title match on night 1. I can't see it.
The only way I'm thinking that they're going to do is they're going to put Flair Rousey as the main event on night 1. And then night 2 will be title for title.
Doesn't matter because you still got both those. Like, they're not defended on night 1. Like, I just don't.
I understand that. I get it. But people are buying Mania tickets before the card's even done. And I think that's what their justification is. They can't do it every year.
They justified it last year by saying that.
But they had a title match. They had both separate title matches.
Yeah, like the women's singles titles and the men's
WWE title.
Both years. In the COVID year, at WrestleMania 30 COVID.
Yeah, WWE title match opened night 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Universal title main event in night 2.
Right.
So they had, both nights had title matches. And I think, I don't see a title for title. I'm just trying to justify, if this report's true, how they think that Rousey Flair is going to be a draw in the main event.
It doesn't need to be a draw.
And that's my point. Yeah. It doesn't need to be a draw.
You can't see how Ronda Rousey is a draw?
No. I'm saying
it doesn't need to be a draw.
It doesn't need to be a draw.
Well, that's why Becky's getting Belair.
Yeah, Becky's going to face Belair. Yeah. Okay. The Royal Rumble's economic impact on St. Louis was that it generated $8.3 million in revenue, and it sold 11,000 hotel rooms.
Hey, yeah.
Juice Robinson's no longer under contract with New Japan. His contract has expired. Cool. The amount of people that are going to leave WWE for AEW will shock you.
Oh, God.
Santino Morella's gorgeous daughter.
Mm-hmm. Like, I would fuck Santino or let him fuck me to get a chance at her.
Signed with WWE.
You guys are goddamn perverts.
2 more. Bryan Danielson will be inducted to the ROH Hall of Fame.
So far, boys, what a fucking class they got going. Briscoe's last week and Daniel Bryanson this week. Like,
The only one they need to do is Tyler Black.
I can, unlike, like, because we didn't really touch on the Matt Hardy thing with Jeff Hardy. Unlike that rumor, I can see WWE going, sure, Seth. Go on if they want to induct you in the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. Because they're
not a company anymore. Who cares?
Basically.
They have a good relationship with Ring of Honor, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like they won't all be in the same area.
Predictions. Give me one person who you think is going to join the Hall of Fame if they're adding any more.
ROH or
ROH.
Jay Lethal.
That's one. That's yours.
That Jay Lethal is a first balloter for sure. And I don't even like him.
Sleazy.
Nigel McGuinness.
Oh, we all have different answers because I'm saying Samoa Joe.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's a good one too.
Yeah.
Last one. Sleazy. Let's talk about Brian Kendrick. Nope. He's. I love it. Well, he was released by WWE, then was able to quickly sign with AEW, and then we know the reason why that happened.
Holocaust doesn't work, bro.
Jesus Christ! What a fucking asshole. Sleazy left the show, by the way.
I understand. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Oh no,
This is
Sleazy's in the back. Now he's humping a table, it looks like. He's going to the fridge.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. This is an example of something that people sat on this information for no other reason because they had nothing else better to do. And then when Brian Kendrick's name gets brought up, because he's been working with WWE fucking forever. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, when Brian Kendrick leaves WWE and gets signed to AEW, some social justice fucking idiot decided to go look up stuff back in 1962 that Brian Kendrick said. It's been out there forever. Go the fuck, boys. Like, should have had this issue. Shouldn't he have been fired from WWE for these comments? Because it's not like it was hidden. They found it immediately.
Right. Like the day he signed with AEW.
Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but I agree. He should have been fired from WWE.
His own opinion. Whatever his opinion is, dumb, fine. But don't let him go for something that's been out fucking 10 years, boys. And only now you're getting hibbity over. Paper toss. If you're going to get triggered,
number one. Well, here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing.
Okay, Snowflake, calm down.
Okay? I'm going to fucking snowflake the shit out of this, okay? No, here's the thing. Part of the reason why I don't think...
I really thought that was the dildo.
Wow. It does look like one, too.
A big black dildo.
Here's my thing about it. You say shit like what he said. There was no way he doesn't believe that because he said it multiple times. Second of all, he's never apologized until literally most recently for it. After he basically
got called out for it.
Because he just got called out for it. Number 3, I don't think anybody knew he was still working in WWE as an agent.
I mean, that's the law if you watch the product. He was there all the time on NXT.
And number 4, maybe you shouldn't have said it.
Did you, wrong tube, that Donald Trump Jr. is calling out The Rock because of transphobic slurs he said in a promo to John Cena?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The irony of Donald Trump Jr. doing this is, I'm done.
I think it's funny as fucking shit.
So do I.
And it goes back to having accountability. You account for what you've said. You say, I'm sorry. You deal with the consequences and you move on.
No.
Yes.
No.
Actions have consequences.
I don't give a fuck about your actions having consequences. The fact that everybody has to be so snowflakey and so shut down that you're afraid to say shit, right, wrong, or indifferent, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And the fact that you only worry about, I don't like your opinion, so you should be held accountable for it. No, fuck off.
You're right about the fact.
Because if you got an opinion that I don't like, I'm not going fucking headhunting you. And that's what most of this is people are headhunting for the sake of headhunting because they don't like the fucking words that are being said. Words, fuck. Like, it bugs me. I don't get hot about much. You don't really hear me get hot about much. I get hot about that.
It's one thing to have an opinion about something. It's another to be outwardly vicious towards a certain subset of people. And this is part of the reason why, and I get what you're saying. I do. And there's certain pieces of that are absolutely true. But when you are openly saying that the Holocaust didn't happen, or that Sandy Hook didn't happen, or shit like this, like the fucking 9/11 tragedy didn't happen. It was a fucking...
Sleazy, I do remember there's probably a picture of us standing where the World Trade Centers used to be.
Did you guys bomb the World Trade Center?
Yes.
So I just want everyone...
Really bad. He farted really bad.
See what I mean?
But seriously, I know Sleazy's thinking on this because we both shed a tear when we went there. Like, so I know where Sleazy's coming from with that 9/11 stuff. So, and right, like you can bring your thought, Ryan. You can bring whatever thoughts you have in it, but when somebody comes into a school with a gun and shoots innocent people just cause, and say it didn't happen,
that's America. I'm Canadian, remember?
Well, you don't got schools up there to shoot, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we do.
Wow.
It's in the igloo around back. We have to walk 10 miles uphill both ways to get to school.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing, and here's the
8 miles.
I want to point out something that
kilometers.
Wow. I want to point out something that Ryan had said though. Having an opinion on it is one thing, because nobody's yeah, fuck you too. Nobody's complaining about Brian Kendrick's view on lizard people, which is something he also has said he believed in.
AJ Styles is a flat earther.
I 100% agree with that. That's stupid.
What,
that's ridiculous. It's an opinion. But what? That it's stupid? It's ridiculous?
No. Do you agree with AJ Styles that he said the earth is flat, or do you agree with AJ Styles that the earth is flat? Like, are you a flat earther?
That he said it. Not that I agree with it. But here's the thing. That's stupid, but it's not malicious. There's the difference. And no one's coming after Brian Kendrick because he said that there's lizard people. They're coming after him because he said the Holocaust doesn't exist, or that it was the reason why Israel was created. And he said something about the fucking Haitian earthquake and how that people were going down to Haiti to harvest body parts after the earthquake, and the earthquake was man-made or some shit. And just like, what? Now I know why him and Paul London are close friends. But there's a line there. And this is coming from somebody who is and still will defend Joey Ryan, Mr. Nuclear Heat Magnet. Because at the end of the day, what he did, yeah, fuck you.
That's why you're defending him.
I never got to.
You saw his Davey Richards.
I never got to. Wow.
No, just because even the Tommy Dreamer thing, the Dreamer's back with Impact now, but the fact that he said something, and the Dreamer wasn't malicious, whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent, when everything he said up until his comment of, if she really felt that way, she shouldn't have took the boy out. Nothing that Tommy Dreamer said was fucking wrong. If somebody wants to cancel me over it, that's fine. But I don't think Dreamer should have got canceled because he was like, she probably shouldn't have took the payout if she thought it was something serious. That's a true fucking fact. But Dreamer got canceled. Like, I hate this cancel culture bullshit because you're only canceling people that it's not whether you like or don't like the facts. It's whether you like or don't like the person saying it. And that's what's bugging me now about this.
It's like the Salem witch trials all over again, just in a different light.
Yeah, instead of you're a witch, you're a social justice warrior.
Because that's what they did. Like, none of them were witches. Like, they pretty much were just like, they used these girls who were, let's be honest here, there were way older men hanging out with very young girls. So they were probably brainwashed, raped, and traumatized. And they were pretty much telling these girls, people who they didn't like, they're witches. Burn them, kill them. That's what happened. So, I mean, that's what Ryan is getting at. Is like, it's not what, but it is some of the things that they are saying. Some people just, no. But there are some things where I'm like, that's ridiculous. Why are you getting rid of that? But there's also some things I'm like, well, that makes sense.
It's a hard line to walk, though. And I think
I'd be canceled every week doing this podcast, boss.
We all would be. So that's the thing. He just scratched his fucking nuts on camera. Thanks, asshole.
It wasn't my nuts. It was the tip of my dick.
Okay, sorry.
We are not a video podcast.
Yet.
Nobody would have known that until you said it.
Right.
Dickhead. The dickhead was implicit, I guess.
You
Fucking
big hairy
bitch.
But I guess my point is that it's not the fact that they're being canceled, it's the fact of what they're saying.
But for the Tommy Dreamer thing, he didn't say anything wrong. It shouldn't have got canceled.
I agree with that. Because what he said, what he said about it was insensitive. That's true. It was also true. And that's why he got canceled. But in the same breath, should he have been fired from Impact over? Absolutely not. If somebody came out to him and said, hey, that was kind of a shitty thing to say, and he apologized for it, and that was the end of it, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, but apologizing for it means you're wrong, and he wasn't wrong. And it's patronizing to be like, I'm sorry you got offended. I get it. I have to say it all the time because somebody gets mad at something I say. And respect and all that shit, it got nothing to do with you anymore. If I say something and Fat Man gets offended by it, it's because Fat Man got offended by it. He took it offensively. Because I could say something that's not offensive.
I'm taking that offensively. How dare you tell Fat Man that he's not offensive?
But you see what I'm saying?
Right, that's bullshit. You're canceled.
You're canceled, fucker.
I'm very offensive.
But you see what I mean? Though? I understand the cancellation and all on the other person now. I could say the sky is blue, and somebody could want to fucking cancel me because they hate the color blue. Like, I could say, if I went to you and fuck you, Sleazy, and you know it's a term of endearment. I could say fuck you, Sleazy, to somebody else, and they're like, well, you know what I mean? Like, especially in the wrestling world, too. It's so hard pressed where there's so many eyes on you. There's so much shit going on. Like, boys, if they're not allowed to be themselves and you got to walk on eggshells all the time, why'd you leave WWE?
To be fair, fuck blue. Red's a better color. So, the sky's red.
Sky is definitely red.
Oh, you're canceled because I don't like your false fucking narrative there, EC fathead.
Well, here's the thing. There's a line there though. There's my difference with all of this is that the line is when you're saying something outright hurtful or you're marginalizing.
What's hurtful?
What's that?
Who determines what's hurtful?
I don't know what to fucking say anymore.
You can listen to at least me and Sleazy
every Saturday
on Gear Network at 8 a.m. This will be Ryan's last show.
We hope we'll be back next week. I don't even know. For now. Ryan's usually got nothing to plug, so I'm at TWS. Well, he's definitely
gonna have anything else to plug later.
Yeah.
Look. I don't know what one finger and three fingers in a hole is.
The shocker. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
The Shaka. That's going to be my new Twitter handle. TWS Shaka.
With 6
and direct all hate mail to at Sleazy Fatman on Twitter and Instagram.
8 O's. Shaka. Oh, A's at the end. It is.
You can find all of the show's archives at gearnetwork.com. You can find everyone else that's part of Gear Network at gearnetwork.com. that's pretty much it for the show. So, with thanks to Ryan, and as always, for Sleazy.
For the fat man.
This is the wrestling show. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Oh, yeah. Fuck Dave Meltzer.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain of the game. The blood shedding your name. When there's nothing to gain, all the world goes sad.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.